Why does everyone in the Big Ten become Iowa?
Everything evolves to eventually become a crab.
Ryan Day wanted the crab fight.
This team has two claws and he wants to snip at you with them.
He will play like the crab if he feels threatened.
Let's just jump into the Bama game because I was listening to their radio show after they lost. So Florida State hosted Alabama. Florida State won 31-17. They're panicking about their QB situation, which I think is interesting because did you think QB was the problem in that game?
No, not really.
He didn't help, but I don't think he did anything bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's ways to go on the road and blow a game at the quarterback position. That's not what he did. He missed some critical, I think third and fourth down throws, but that's all. For a guy that's making his first start, he's not this beautiful, perfect prospect. So I'm like, why are we shocked that he wasn't flawless in his first game against a Power 4 team? Ty Simpson's fine. He's as good as SEC quarterbacks have been in pre-2016. I'm not expecting that much more from him. And that's not the reason they gave up 31 fucking points. So figure it out. It's not his fault yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, John, you seem to... What did you think?
I don't know. I mean, the offensive line did Simpson no favors. He had dudes in his grill the entire game. I don't think that they recorded that many sacks, but you can realistically add one to the total for the fumble that turned into a left tackle or whatever, picking
Recovering
it up.
Yeah.
The center breaking some tackles too.
Yeah. You can add that to the sack total. I think that only brings him to 3 or 4. But the entire game, he was under pressure. Now, could he have? I think that some of that is on him. I think that you can, get rid of the ball quicker or do other things. But that's, again, grading on a curve of a very good quarterback would do these things. And, I mean, respectfully to Ty Simpson, there's a reason that this is his 3rd or 4th year in the program, and he's lost 2 QB battles in the past and kind of just won this one by default.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's on him. You're right. I mean, he's just the guy who got promoted because he's been there the longest. Basically. Yeah. It was not his fault. I don't think he did anything to elevate anybody, which is a fair enough complaint to have about a QB. But Florida State cooked Bama's offensive line, which was very surprising because this was a 2-10 team last year, and I'll be honest, I picked them, and it was not a meme. I thought Florida State could win this game. Okay, I felt in my heart I picked this game because I believed in it. I did not expect Florida State's defensive line to play that well, and there was a you don't believe in us factor to this game because I think after the second or third drive. I don't know if you guys watched this game on TV, but there was an insane amount of juice Florida State was playing with. The more the game went on, the more they realized that they could actually do this, and the better they started playing. They were just hitting so hard. They were just killing Bama's players on every play.
To see an Alabama team get out physicaled like that by a team in Florida State's position that's probably going to end the year middle of the pack ACC, it's just totally a foreign concept. I know we saw some of it last year with Alabama too, but it's pretty freaking cool for this team to be mortal.
It's refreshing. And did you just feel like Bama played so sloppy? This was undisciplined Bama, which they were undisciplined last year. I mean, I think there was a touchdown drive where they sacked Castellanos in the backfield, and then there was a roughing or a late hit on him that ended up costing him a first down, and Florida State ends up scoring a touchdown on that drive. There was, I think, a handful of false starts. Caden Proctor, who, was the number 1 offensive tackle prospect, committed to Iowa, that guy. He's 6'7", 360. He's getting cooked out there.
Dude, he didn't just commit to Iowa. He transferred there for a spring and then immediately transferred back. Never played a snap at Iowa. And it was like a huge recruiting win that they got him back.
It was crazy. Josh, sorry.
I'm just still gobsmacked that it seems like everything about Alabama, like from their core, just seems to be regressing. And that feels unfair. Like, I don't want every single game to be some referendum on the entire program, but I don't know. There was some clip going around of like one of the linebackers like not chasing down a reverse, that if he just had gotten beyond like a jog, he could have probably brought down, turning a touchdown into a gain of 30. Like, I kept looking for stuff like that and I kept finding it. And I don't know if it's just because I'm like, all right, I know how this game ends and I'm seeing what effort people had after I've heard it was a problem, but it just wasn't hard to look. And then there are these consequential like plays defensively that you just see somebody taking off, and you add to Ty Simpson running for his life every play. I'm like, this is not. This reminds me of like 2019 Texas, where they're still very talented, they're still picked to be very successful, and they start off thinking that this is just going to happen for them, and then you drop one. It's like, shit, better lock in. And then you drop another one, and you're like, oh, I was focused that time. And then that third one happens, and you're like, damn, we're 9-3, but it doesn't feel like we achieved all we could have. And I don't know, I'm talking about mindset stuff that I just am not privy to for them, but this doesn't bode well for the rest of the season. Now that not just, Vanderbilt beat Bama in the middle of the season. Like, this team hasn't proven anything. And now they're questioning themselves. So are we doing a players only meeting after week 1? Really? This is Bama's first loss in the month of August, like ever. I think they said. Like, things are not right. And not just not right for Bama. They're just not that good of a team. And that's shocking. I thought they would be above average. I don't know about that.
And that's a crazy thing, is just like you said, how mediocre they look, because they're still on like the 247 talent composite list, not just recruiting, but like everyone on the roster. They're still, by the numbers, the most talented team in the country. Like, so there's something happening with player development, player evaluations that's like, because I mean, realistically, it didn't feel like there were that many like 5-star busts that went through under Saban. And that's, I guess, what it all comes down to. Is it possible to talk about this team without talking about Saban? Like, it's just, that dude's gone, and they're just like a regular good football team, maybe not even good. And I think that's awesome.
They just remind me of like Brian Kelly LSU now, where it's like they're talented and like they could beat anybody technically, but they also could lose to anybody. And like, that's just not normal. The Saban shadow definitely is looming. I think there's just a psychological risk to this team in that every one of those players realistically was recruited by Saban or like recruited under that regime, and like the psychological free fall if this season goes bad or even starts to go bad could end up being really bad. Like, people could just check out. So there's that risk, but I don't want to talk too much about Bama because there was another team on the field that was Florida State.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The Gus Bus, he did what he was put on earth to do, which is frustrate the hell out of Bama and run the ball down their goddamn throats.
He is the perfect QB, by the way. Like, Castellanos plays with such poise. I liked him at Liberty, so like I knew he was pretty good. And this is just the perfect offense. Wait, sorry.
Boston College.
He was at Liberty, then Boston College, I thought.
Oh, really?
He was at UCF, then Boston College.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Well, either way,
All right. Producers, cut the last 30 seconds.
Either way, I knew about him. This is the perfect offense for him. Like, perfect. Because he is, like, pretty tenured. Like, I think in general, he really makes the right calls in general about when to take off, when to hold the ball, when to do, their bullshit jet sweep, when to, they run a lot of veer stuff. And I just want to point out, Gus called a great game, right? But this was very standard Gus offense. Like, I didn't see any like crazy trick plays I've never seen. I've been watching Gus Malzahn offenses for literally a decade. This was like a very well executed version of what he's always done. So, and they ran a 3-3-5. Bama's running a 3-3-5. It should be really good against an offense like this that's like so much east-west. They were just terrible. They just got caught in the spin cycle and couldn't get out.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
they had no eye discipline. Like,
well, when your outside linebackers jogging on the opposite side of the play, like you're literally down a man in every matchup that you have. So I mean, it makes sense that they lost by multiple possessions. Like I'm kind of glad this game wasn't close. I feel like for everyone's sake, like this isn't just like, oh, Bama lost the game on a last-second field goal. Is this the end of Alabama? No. They got dog-walked on the road by a team that hadn't proven anything and could have came out of nowhere, but the motivation was there. Castellanos was running his mouth. I'm sure that was on the bulletin board. And you let them get away with it. I mean, I don't know. I'm talking about them like I'm disappointed in them. Like, it's just sad, I guess.
well, after Alabama scored to make it 17-24, I was getting like a PTSD feeling of like how Bama used to be. I was like, oh, I think Alabama might have like low-key just won this game. Like the scoreboard does not say that, but I've seen this happen. They're gonna get a 3 and out, and then they're gonna score again, and we're all gonna be like, what the hell just happened? This was developing into a blowout like 10 minutes ago. And they can't do it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. We're way too happy about this. Like I said, just to kind of cap this off, it's definitely a brand name upset, but I said it's a 7-win team beating like a 9-win team. Like it's actually like it's not that big of an upset on the field. But Bama's got a lot of soul searching to do, and Florida State, I don't think it was a fluke, because if Castellanos is healthy, this is definitely a formula to win games in the ACC. Like there's there's like an emotional, Florida State like believes in themselves now a little bit, which they like really needed.
Yeah, nobody needed this one more. That's another thing I did want to get on record. Like this couldn't have happened to honestly a more deserving fan base. It was rough.
I mean, especially after they get snubbed in 2023 as an undefeated team. They have to go through literal hell last year, and then they get a chance to get revenge on a team that's, oh, strength of schedule means my 11-1 is better than your 12-0. It's like, nah, go fuck yourself. We're gonna beat your ass. Yeah,
no. There was a lot of Disney Channel writing on this one. Let's just say. All right, so next game was Baylor versus Auburn.
I've one more thing I want to do for the Bama FSU game. Did you guys notice how every time the camera cut to Kalen DeBoer, he didn't look like he knew what the game of football was? He was just like gritted teeth, did not look like he was in control, did not look like he was having a good time, which is reasonable. But
dude, this is my favorite fan base trope, is when your team starts losing, radio callers call in and they're like, whenever they cut to this guy, he has no idea what he's doing. Just look at him. He looks like a deer in headlight. I'm like, I think he's doing something, guys. Like, I don't think he's but yes.
No, he looks stupid. It's the aesthetics that matter more than what he's actually doing.
Yeah. All right. So next game was Baylor versus Auburn. Auburn won 38-24. I will say, it was a close game, even though it ended 38-24. Auburn iced him out, but it was a close game. It was a good game. John.
Yeah. I don't know. I just if you're a SEC team located in the state of Alabama and you're not 1-0, I don't want to be spoken to. Only people who can beat a Power Four team on the road can talk to me. And because it's the Big 12, I can say this and it's true, and you can't stop me. A conference championship contender. No, but I mean, Auburn didn't even play a very good game. It was like Jackson Arnold threw for barely 100 yards, which is funny because he actually had a really similar stat line to Castellanos, which is also good for me because we have to play that team at the end of the year. And if this is the Jackson Arnold we're going to get this year, where, you know, the throwing is an accessory to the QB run game, like, that's the type of team Alabama loses to, and I would quite like to beat them this year. No, but 300 yards on the ground, 38 points. It's everything that I was bitching about us not doing last year, we kind of did in this game.
How about you, Josh?
I was surprised how effective they were on the ground. Like, every time Arnold picked a gap up the middle, it just seemed to be there. And I knew they weren't looking to air it out, but it was really interesting how they were able to spread out the defense and just still not be able to commit to stopping the run from the quarterback position. That's a little surprising. I mean, having the special teams come in and be that X factor in the second half, I mean, can't beat that. I mean, I was also impressed with Baylor's ability to hang in this game, because this could have gotten out of hand. But, you know, anytime you have to, when you're driving down the field methodically, you just have to get so much right. And if Auburn is capable of having big plays against Power 4 teams, then all right, let's see more of it. I mean, you're probably not going to have your quarterback being the one responsible for it, just like being like, all right, A-gap, see ya. But it's nice when it works.
Well, I think that I think that as much as Dave Aranda and Baylor were talking in the week leading up to this game about how they were, we need to stop the run game, and that's how we're gonna win this game. If you look at the 4th and 1 play that Auburn iced the game on and scored a touchdown, 23-yard Jackson Arnold run, we send Eric Singleton Jr. in motion across the field, and there are 3 Baylor defensemen following him, and it just leaves the field wide open for Jackson. And it's that was in the late 4th quarter when they had already been gashed on the ground the entire game. They played in too high the entire game. I think that they're trying to not let the pass beat them, but when you're already at the point where you've allowed 250 yards on the ground, where's the adjustment? I don't.
6-7.
Yeah, I don't know why they ran too high the whole game. I also noticed that. Just bring an extra guy in the box, frankly.
They
just
didn't spy him until the second half. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like we're being a little negative on Jackson Arnold, because as I was watching this, I'm like, this is such a fucking upgrade over Peyton Thorne. Even though Peyton Thorne
significant. Yeah.
Because as I was watching, I was like, "This is pretty good. This is good. He's fine. He's definitely workable." And I didn't expect them to run him as much, frankly. And he did a good job. I will say it was hilarious in the 4th quarter when they were power running Jackson Arnold. The commentators started comparing him to Cam Newton at Auburn, which I thought was just genuinely hilarious to hear that.
Why is that funny?
Yeah, then he scored a touchdown, to ice the game on an A-gap run. So I'm like, oh, fuck it. I guess he is like Cam this game. But yeah, I mean, it's just even last year, I thought Auburn had everything but the QB on offense, to be better. Forget being amazing, but be better. And it's okay, well, the QB's definitely a fucking upgrade now. Yeah, I would feel pretty good. Auburn's defense played a lot of snaps, I thought. like they gotta have better game control. They can't be playing 38 to 24 games, but it's all there.
The thing that was really weird to me about how this game shook out was allowing 400 yards of passing to Sawyer Robertson, who I know is a good player, and Baylor also has some pretty good receivers, and their tight end killed us. But like this is a pass defense that was like top 30, top 40 in the country last year, like way better than Auburn as a team was. And we returned almost everybody on the back end. So I hope that's not a trend, that we're just going to randomly be worse now at pass defense. And hopefully it's just this offense, these players were able to take advantage.
Yeah, I mean, no, sorry, you go, Josh.
Oh, sorry. 400's concerning, but I feel like it didn't look easy. I feel like it's part of it's like, yes, this is 400 yards of passing offense, but you also went against like a run and gun team. Like I know Dawson Pendergrass was like their like leading rusher. Like they were really excited about him, especially in short yardage. And he was injured before training camp, I think. So that was like a huge portion of their run game that's just missing. So a lot of it is on Sawyer, and not letting him do whatever he wants on the ground and in the air, I feel like is sign that, okay, this is just how they have to do things like that. And they were behind for a little bit. So that's like, I don't know, what, 2 out of 3 plays that are probably passes that could have been run. So it all bears out.
Yeah.
I'm going to move back to Arnold real quick for a second. I just think it's awesome that in 2023, I was so sick and tired of Michigan fan shit about how, no, we swear JJ McCarthy is good. We just don't need to pass. So that's why he never does it. And I think that I'm going to have to become that kind of guy this year when I'm talking about Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. He never like I didn't know he could run like this, and like I need to see it against some better teams. Like I don't know if this is what they're gonna do all season.
Ideally not.
Yeah. We'll see. I would feel good if I was Auburn. I don't. Alabama lost this week, so you can't feel that bad about a win.
No, I feel awesome about this. I have slight concerns like the pass defense, the passing offense, whatever. All that stuff is just like those are nitpicks I have with how we achieved a win. Because really, when you think about it, for Auburn, this is a huge win. This is also kind of necessary for us to hit our goals this year. Like, if you lose this game, then you suddenly have to go 5-3 in the SEC to have a chance at 8-4. And like, yeah, our schedule's not terrible compared to some SEC teams this year, but it gets a lot harder to get to that 8-9 win mark.
Yeah, for sure. And Baylor, I don't think is going to be terrible this year. So it was good to get the win. Josh, do you have anything before I jump to the next game?
Final note for Auburn. It's good for them that they were having fun. Last year was not fun. And now that I know about Keandre Lambert-Smith a little more, now that he's a Charger, I'm like, they had some nice guys that suffered so much. So it was good to see them celebrating and do the ooh. That won't translate on podcasts, but I'm glad for them. Good for them. Even though another fucking SEC team walks in, fucking dog shit, fucking.
Hey! Watch who you're talking to.
Not exactly the week to be talking up the SEC though. So.
Hey.
All right. So Ohio State hosted Texas and won 14-7. I just think there's so many angles to take on this game because there's the main one, which is Arch Manning fucking sucks. That's the main one that everyone wants to talk about. Okay. But there's also is Ohio State's defense the greatest defense of all time, they stopped Arch Manning. And then there's also, the Julian Sayin angle, which was like, he didn't look that good, and Ohio State's offense didn't look that good. But then again, this is an elite Texas defense. This might be one of the greatest defenses we've ever seen. And they stopped Ohio. So you could just take any interpretation of this game. So, Josh, what was your interpretation of this game?
My interpretation was, as much as I was hating on Avery Johnson last year, I feel like we just had two Avery Johnsons going against each other, and that's pretty interesting. I'm a little surprised there weren't a couple more like points in this game. Just like somebody makes some big mistake, and that's where the points come from. So good on them for being sort of clean. But really, this is just slop ball on big noon kickoff. Like, there's not really much happening beyond like, okay, yeah, the defenses are pretty good. That's all.
I mean, I think there's some stuff to look into, which is that, first of all, Ohio State's defense coming up with the 1 yard line, stopping Texas on the 1 yard line again, is definitely I think a pretty big deal. I think Ohio State's defense was pretty good. I also think Arch Manning did himself and the Texas offense no favors. Like, just awful. I mean, just missing open stuff, bad footwork, scrambling when there's no pressure, just not feeling the pocket at all. It was just bad all around. And then on the other side, Julian Sayin, which was like, he didn't have a great day in terms of numbers, but I thought he played totally fine. He made the plays when they were there, and they didn't ask him to do that much because Texas' offense was just doing nothing. So they just basically parked the bus on offense for Ohio State. Like, I would feel fine about Julian Sayin. I would not feel fine about Arch Manning.
I guess it's kind of interesting that they didn't get like a proven starter going into the season. Like, I know they were really excited to have Sayin, but still, like, you got to take your lumps in this sort of thing. And can Ohio State afford to, have the training wheels on a quarterback? Like, their wide receivers are like their best asset. So I know he's like in a good position, but like, you got to be bold if you want to take advantage of who Jeremiah Smith is. So it'll happen. I mean, they just started off with a really tough matchup, but got the win. That's all that matters. And I guess they have some time before conference play. So
yeah, I just think they didn't need to do anything on offense. So they were just like, it's your first start. We are not letting you fuck this up. Like, we're just parking the bus. We're doing screens to Jeremiah Smith if we're running the ball. Like, that's all we're going to do. Because Texas defense is legitimately good. Like, I really do think they're the most impressive unit for Texas.
That's why I thought they would win. I'm like, okay,
they did their job.
At least played like previously, even if it wasn't like super meaningful snaps. I don't think he's as bad as he performed in that game. I feel like he just had a really rough going.
Yeah, yes and no, though, because like he was missing stuff with no pressure. Like, he was just missing open guys. Like, that's the thing. And then, even if you watched Arch Manning last year, they didn't throw it with him much. Like, they used him like a gimmick running QB, like, pretty much. And that is seemingly his biggest strength. Like, I do think if he's going to be really good, they need to use him like JT Barrett. Like, that's how they need to play him a little bit. And like, Sark didn't call a game for JT Barrett. He called a game for Quinn Ewers. Like,
I think Nebraska had the same thing with Adrian Martinez. Like, I don't want to say that Arch is Adrian Martinez, but do things to help him and you'll be better. I don't know if that's how he wants to do it, but
yeah, I mean, there was some real, like, when Arch took shots down the field, they weren't open. Like, it's not like they were open and he missed it. He was throwing into like triple coverage. I mean, this is just, he's not even processing the field properly. He's just, this is the guy I'm supposed to throw to on this play. I'm throwing it, like, no matter what. Like, serious concerns. He'll obviously look better against, worse competition, but like, Texas has to play a lot of Texas has to go on the road against Georgia this year. They have to play A&M, they have to play Florida, they don't have to play LSU, I think, but they have he's gonna have to throw the ball well for them to get through this season. So
Oh, sorry. You froze there. You said Texas has to play a lot?
They're gonna have to play a lot of good teams this year. They have to play at Georgia. They've got to play A&M. I don't think they have LSU. Shit, even Oklahoma. It's like you're gonna have to throw the ball like to get through this season. Because I've seen teams that win 10 games without being able to throw the ball. It's painful for everybody involved all season. So like,
oof. And I think about like Arch getting hammered in that Ohio State game last time they played. So I don't know. I don't want to put him in that harm's way if I'm Texas, but it seems like that's what they're going to need to do until they can figure out a more suitable passing game for him. Not just where they want him to be, but where he's at right now. Because it's go time for them right now.
Yeah, they're going to have to just QB run offense. They're going to have to do what Auburn just did. Like I literally think that's the offense that you guys are. You got to deal with it.
They have the defense to pull it off.
Yeah, they could do that. It's just when you get in a big game, you are going to lose. Like that's what's going to happen, realistically.
Are we going to have a burnt orange crab team now?
Oh, I think we are. Here's the thing though. They're going to be a crab that thinks they're like an eagle. Like that's the problem. Is Sark won't admit that he's got a crab offense. He can't deal with that. He never accepts his position. That's his flaw as a coach.
You know, we talked about this with Texas A&M when they made the switch from Wegman to Reed in the middle of the season last year. So I think they have the staff to pull it off. Texas, I think has seen enough like between the people that they have there. So we'll see if they do, but it's going to take some real adaptability to make that switch with a young quarterback. Like you might have just set up this whole thing wrong. So we'll see. It also doesn't help that everyone's like, oh, our chosen child, Arch Manning. I bought the hype in another game I was wrong on, but who's counting?
Yeah, even though Texas lost, I just think Sarkisian is such an offensive genius that we should keep them number one anyway. He's just such a genius. FBI. We've never fucking seen an offensive coordinator who runs the ball and then does play action. We've never seen that before. Oh my God, right. He's such a genius. Okay, all right. My salt is coming through. Okay. Next game, Clemson versus LSU. LSU won 17-10. This was the only game of the week I think I picked wrong. And I thought Clemson would blow them out. Or not blow them out, but win by like 13 points. I did not think it'd be close. And frankly, if LSU plays a more buttoned up game, they win by more than just one touchdown. Like they had a ref take away a touchdown off the board. This could have been like a 31-10 loss for Clemson. This was bad. Their offense looked bad. I
mean, Klubnik, I expected him to take a step forward. Everyone has a bad game here or there. Not going to hammer him. I don't know. But I will say, I think they were surprised by how physical LSU was. I feel like everyone knows that they're fast, but does it translate? Are you in the right position, or are you fast enough to cover up for your mistakes? Like, they were just fast and physical, and that feels so generic to say, but it's important in the sport. And LSU has found like some toughness that I didn't think that they had. And to go in there and frankly look like Louisville last year against Clemson. Like, I don't know. I'm intrigued by this LSU team now because I do like Nussmeier. I thought he'd be trying to do too much because the defense would be allowing 50 points to Mississippi.
So, same boat, man. Same boat. I thought the Nussmeier's flaw was like he can throw the ball 70 yards. off his back foot. The problem is he's trying to hit a fly because he's just so stupid. Like I just thought that was his thing. Didn't play within himself all game. And LSU ran the ball, or at least like had the attitude that we're gonna run the ball. Like you could see that that's how they're gonna play this year. LSU could easily win the SEC title because I don't want to like overstate. Like Clemson's a playoff team. They did this. This is a playoff team to me. It's just like Clemson just seems like they're the exact same they were last season. Like no offensive improvement at all. Defense is insane. We're just gonna like white knuckle games all year and then lose to a team that can score on us, basically.
But yeah, I'm intrigued by tough LSU. It's easy to get amped up for week 1. We'll see if this carries through mid-October. But for right now, I mean, Georgia's not stainless.
They feel like the favorite,
Alabama's
right?
not on the way. Auburn's still figuring it out. John's not here to defend them. So
LSU feels like the favorite, right? They've got the best win.
it's hard for me to say. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. It's early, but I was very impressed by them, especially because, like I said, they could have won by more. And yeah, no improvement. This is the same team as last year for Clemson, which is a good team, which is a playoff team, which will probably win the ACC, but they're not winning a title. And I picked them to win a title, so have to take my loss on that one.
It's still week one. Don't want to overreact. But this is new information. Like, LSU is the story. And hey, they broke their week one losing streak. Good for them.
Yeah, man. Holy shit. I cannot imagine starting every season with a loss. Yeah, great fans. But I guess we now know who the real Death Valley is. Hot take.
Golly.
No, I don't want to do that. All right, next game was Nebraska at Cincy. Nebraska won 20-17. God, that was not impressive at all, right?
Everyone was talking about how Dylan Raiola was doing his Patrick Mahomes impression, and he was so committed to it that they had a game that they didn't deserve to win, got bailed out by the defense, and pulled out without covering in a win against the Cincinnati team. Can you believe it?
Sorry, no, continue.
I'm glad we talked about Auburn at length, because this is the Big 12's take on Auburn, Cincinnati. Brendan Sorsby, just not a passer, dude. But man, dude, when he commits to running, the way he moves on a football field makes me think of like arena football. Like, he does not give a fuck about his body at all. And he's not big enough to like hand out punishment. He's just like, fuck it, I'm going. And that's really the only thing they have going for them. So I'm curious to see how far this takes them, but good for Nebraska being a fine enough team to pull off an ugly win.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, wow, like, oh, Nebraska has matured, they've developed, like they won this game that they'd normally lose. Because I'm like, well, I feel like they should have lost. I mean, Cincinnati, I weirdly walked away with more respect for after this game. I'm like, okay, they're not going to be as bad as they were last year. Like, they've improved. They seem to play hard. Like, they're trying. The wheels haven't fallen off the bus, is my point, for a program that's just been really having a hard time since being in the Big 12.
I don't know how sustainable it is. I feel like this is one of those games that obviously you're kicking yourself because they, threw that game-sealing interception trying to go for the win. But I feel like if they had just kicked that field goal, if that ball is thrown just a little bit farther outside It's not even caught. It's just incomplete that they pull it off in overtime. And,
Absolutely. I don't know what the fuck Sorsby was thinking.
should have been, could have been. He's just not a great passer. He's not.
But why are you? It's the attempt. It's not the throw. It's like, what are you doing? Like we have the field goal. Why are you going for the kill? Like,
I get it. They needed this one, dude. It was on the road practically. It was a home game that you paid for. Well, no, they did make some money to give up a home game, but it was like sacrificing a really good home game to play on the road and come up short and embarrass the mighty Big 12 Conference 1-3 this weekend with TCU North Carolina happening as we're recording.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a heartbreaker for them. I don't know what Sorsby was thinking. I do not think that was the right decision at all to throw a 50-50 ball in that situation, but fuck it. He did it. He went for it. Nebraska, I guess you can feel good that you won. Patrick Mahomes left early. I thought that was an interesting thing. He left like in the third quarter or something. He just went home.
Yeah, he's like, I've played in this game before. I don't need this.
Yeah. I don't have anything more to say about this game.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Next game was Georgia Tech at Colorado, 27-20. I did have something to say about this game.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's start with the end. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm not even going to start with the end. I want to start with Georgia Tech. Okay. I said it. They have an identity, and their identity is our quarterback is just a G. He's just going to cover. He's going to take an insane amount of beatings. This is not sustainable physically at all, but we're going to pound the rock, and our defense does the right things, and we're going to win games by doing that. I was very impressed by them. I was also, pretty impressed by Colorado. Like, they looked pretty competent to me when they lost so many key players last year. I thought they looked good. What's their quarterback's name is? Sorry.
Caden Salter.
Salter, I liked watching. Salter's pretty fun to watch. He's fun. He's not really polished, but he's fun. I get it. Dion didn't manage the game well, is what I'll say. I kind of get why he didn't call the timeouts, I'll be honest. But they're just kind of an undisciplined team, but better than I thought it would be.
That's what we were curious about. Like, we did our ACC preview. We thought about like how the trenches would work out. Georgia Tech, we just gave them the advantage. I still feel confident in that. And I think that did get like wear down on the defense. But I think that's the tough part when you have these like transfer portal teams. It's obviously hard to get going early in the season. But for Colorado, it's like, man, you're figuring out new quarterback, new wide receivers, new everything against a team that knows themselves. And when they totally screw up, give up 3 straight turnovers, and you only have 7 points to show for it, and not even like field position coming out of it, I don't think. Like, you're missing some of that glue that makes you like a real contender just yet. So we'll see if they can put it together later. And I feel bad saying that again, but it's week 1. And as sloppy as things might have been, it's still like, all right, there's enough here. They have guys that are going for it and making plays, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, this is not like a 2-win season, which like there was a risk of that.
Yeah.
And you lost Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. Odds are if you had those 2 guys, you probably win that game, right? I mean, it's to put it that simply.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The Dion timeout thing, we should take a second. I don't know why he held on to them that hard. They had a minute left, 50 something seconds. They managed to get 2 plays off. That's
Mhm.
horrible. I don't know why he didn't call his timeouts. And I don't even think he called his timeouts in the first half either. I don't know why he's so tight about that.
They managed to save them both. And I remember Salter was scrambling and fought for some extra yards and didn't just
Terrible
get the
decision.
first down, stop the clock, and reset. That was one mistake, but you didn't have to compound it by letting the clock keep going. I don't understand. And this is one of those coaching time management things that cost you in close games, but I feel like this game was lost already. They were trying to make a 20% chance of a comeback here, and that just snuffed out the remaining 20%.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The odds were they were going to lose whether they call those timeouts. Yeah, on that note, where Salters didn't want to go down in the middle of the field, so he chose to run 50 yards parallel to the line of scrimmage to get out of bounds.
He dipped behind it too. I'm like, oh.
I'm like, I appreciate that you're trying to save clock, but just go down and let your coach call timeout, which he won't do, but you don't know that. So yeah, I feel good about Georgia Tech. They've got that identity. Haynes King looks like he might die. I mean, when he scored that final touchdown, he didn't celebrate at all. He walked so slowly off the field like he was defeated. I'm like, dude, this is week 1. He has 50 carries. He can't do this.
Well, you know what? If Colorado does manage to score in that last drive, I don't think Haynes King's coming back in the way he looked. Speaking of the way they looked, big ass jersey on that punt return.
Yeah,
somebody's got to change their number. This is a failure of the equipment staff. You can't. This isn't kickoff coverage, all right? They're trying to kill me, and I'm in a moo-moo, dude. What do you want me to do?
Wait, is it bad that I think the oversized jerseys kind of cool? I kind of wish they'd come back.
Leave those in training camp, man. I don't need that now. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Georgia Tech, Colorado, good game. Really solid start to the season. I would feel fine if I was both these teams.
Carson Beck, big game. Showed up. Not too bad. Wide receivers all making plays for him. Miami had a great home environment. They didn't know if they were good or not, but boy, were they treated. Another game I picked incorrectly. Can you believe it? But CJ Carr, the Notre Dame quarterback, who I had to learn was the Notre Dame quarterback, it's just tough. You don't want to ask him to do too much, and I feel like he performed up to expectations. Didn't really see much out of their ground game, though, so that's curious from Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame, it's the same offensive deficiencies that they've struggled with for a long time now. They couldn't move the ball as well as Miami, basically. And their defense wasn't as good as it was last year. I think it was just as simple as that. But Carson Beck can throw the ball. I'll be the first to admit that is not my criticism of him. You know what? In fact, I think Miami is a perfect fit for a guy like Carson Beck to play at. It was a good game. I mean, it was close, but the margins were thin. But yeah, I mean, Notre Dame they're not going to have a pass game. It's just going to be hard all year.
Yeah, I remember that Texas A&M Week 1 game they had last year. Mm-hmm. Just really ugly, but they grounded it out. And I feel like they're going to be in a lot of those. CJ Carr, though, there was one of the late drives they had where it was first down and he's going to take a sack for a loss of 3. And he just 2-hand shoves the ball out forward. I'm like, Oh my God. Like, he's begging to sell them on this. And that's the one thing you can't do if Notre Dame's going to play this type of football. And that's just cough the ball up trying to be a game breaker. Like, that's going to cost them if he doesn't reel that in. Like, we don't need you to be this incredible playmaker. Like, just take what's there and don't fuck this up.
Yeah, no. I mean, in film, you will die like for doing some shit like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, did you like how Cristobal did you think Cristobal was good?
I don't know. I really don't have an opinion. I wasn't that tapped in.
Yeah, fair enough. Honestly, like this is I said this going in. It's like these two teams could either be really good or all both be mediocre. We just won't know for a while. Miami's got talent. I don't think they're mediocre, but
I think Miami will be like a real contender, like not like the ACC for sure, but I have no idea about Notre Dame. Like
this game did not instill a lot of confidence in me.
Yeah, I feel like they're just they'll perform to expectation. I think that's what you said about them.
Yes,
they will show up, be exactly who they're supposed to be, and not a single person more.
Yeah, it feels like an 8 or 9 win Notre Dame team that you never like watching them at any point.
USC against them, I feel like that's going to be like this isn't a serious team. Bye.
Yeah, we'll find out. It's early. It's early, but yeah, that's all I had on that game, to be honest. Okay. We should talk about the Iowa State blowout just because, you were there. I thought the only noteworthy thing is that our kicker can hit a 63-yard field goal.
It was incredible. Put in the video now. But seeing a 63-yarder live before halftime, they asked Kyle Conradi about that. He said they got to like some yard marker, wherever it was, and Campbell asked him, like, "You think you want to take a shot at this?" He said, "Heck yeah!" And he's like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Well, yeah, it was outdoors. What was the condition? Like, you were there. Like, what were the conditions? Was it windy?
I guess the wind was in his favor there, but it was pretty nice day. Like, the rain came in afterwards, but it was clear for takeoff at halftime. Oh,
sorry. You were finishing off another thought before I cut you off there. Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. The rain came in after the game. Like, literally, if you stayed to the end of this 55-7 blowout game, then you were rewarded by rain walking back from the tailgate lots. But it was clear for takeoff at halftime, and that was beautiful. Not to mention, Rocco Beck, 19 for 20.
When he's on, he's on.
Very on. Wide receiver's hand catching too, but that's enough Cyclone talk for now.
Yeah, the other blowout I wanted to talk about was the Georgia blowout of Marshall. Same thing, not too much to take away other than looks like we're gonna run our QB a lot this year, which is a first. I've never watched a team that's run their QB ever at Georgia. Never has that occurred. So it seems like we're gonna be running the ball with we're gonna have a QB run offense. That's somewhat notable. Receivers are better. Have a bunch of transfers. That's about it. It was Marshall, so it's like whatever. But
that is notable. I mean, it seems like as you look around college football, every single quarterback not just has to be mobile, like enough to survive in the backfield, but enough to be like the easy button on a broken play and just getting 5 yards, 10 yards, or 50 on 4th and 1. So I'm I'm not sure what that says. Like, are people just scouting differently, or are quarterbacks just encouraged to run more, or what exactly is happening here?
No,
I'm just
you're
wondering
right.
what your guess is.
I've noticed that too. The meta right now is just to run your QB and design run your QB at that, actually, which is, yeah, that definitely, I noticed that as well. Because, I mean, this week, like, everybody was doing it. Even QBs that I didn't think were runners are now being, like, designed QB run. I think it's just an effect of, like, honestly, it's like the Jalen Hurts effect. Like, I just think they're realizing that downhill running doesn't require like a super dynamic runner at QB. Like like if it's not east west, you can probably get decent yards and get an extra blocker if you run your quarterback, essentially. I mean, even Rocco against Kansas State did some running.
Yeah, he called his own number. He has quite a few rushing touchdowns, and I still wouldn't say he's like a scramble first quarterback. Like, he had 97 against UCF last year, but that was because he just could not connect with anybody downfield.
Yeah. He's mobile, but he's not a runner, and even he's running.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a thing. I mean, Gunnar Stockton was the leading rusher for the team. And obviously he was the leading passer, but he was the leading rusher. He had 75 yards.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean, and I think 2 touchdowns, if I recall. Yeah. Either way, I mean, it was Marshall. I'm not gonna read too much into it. I didn't even see the real offense realistically, but because like they're not gonna show it to me until we actually play some real teams. So we'll see.
Well, that's another thing. It's the beginning of the season. When we get to November, is that still what's gonna happen? Like,
I just think that's how he plays.
Well, we talk about Byram Brown, the USF quarterback that was going out of his way to truck Boise defenders on the way to their big win over Boise State. Like, I don't know if we're doing that like on Black Friday, but it's very fun to see it now.
Yeah, if you can physically do it, your coach will kill you if you do. So that's pretty much what will happen by then. But yeah, I think that was everything for this week. Did you have anything you wanted to say before we close it out?
Shout outs. Real quick, some big winners. USF knocking off ranked Boise State. What an environment that was for the Fighting Alex Golishes. That's so sick. I'm excited for Alex Golish, dude. I hope he sticks around USF for a while. He had a short stint in Tennessee. I think it was like the 1 year Tennessee was like really fun to watch. And I don't know. We'll see how things go. I mean, Tennessee had a great win themselves. We'll see how Heupel does, but you know, Alex Golish, name to look out for. 2, Virginia Tech, South Carolina, the Aflac corporate sponsor Sunday Classic, whatever. Lenore Sellers, I'm worried about quarterbacks taking hits by scrambling so much. Not him. He's fine. He's different. Just another one of those guys that moves differently and is still like bigger than I'm just going to say any 3-star player.
Yeah.
So seeing him like ragdoll people in the fourth quarter, just like he did in the first, was incredible.
Sorry. Yeah, no. I mean, Lenore Sellers is probably a top 10 QB in the SEC this year?
Top 10?
Top 5, right? Who's better?
Top 5?
Yeah, I mean, there's not that many good QBs in the SEC.
I'm saying, who's above him?
Oh, well, yeah, fair. I guess, I don't know, Nussmeier, right? Probably, but...
On 4th and 8, who you got?
I've got Nussmeier right now, but I get it. I get it. I understand.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch him some more. Next shout out. Fucking Tarleton State. 30-27 double overtime win over Army.
Oh, I did see that actually. I was like, I don't remember this game.
What a week, dude. I have really no analysis of that, but I'm like, this is why we play the games, dude.
Where
Like,
is
that's
Tarleton
so
State?
I was gonna say something mean about Texas.
They're in Texas?
Oh, yeah, they're in Texas. But this is another thing. There was, because of the floods in Austin, they're doing like a One Texas like sticker on the back of each Texas team's helmet. So there's like the state of Texas, there's a banner around it with a green ribbon, for the people that like lost their lives and property and whatever. They put out a video. I saw it on Texas Tech's Twitter page, and every school is in there except for the Longhorns.
That's
I
weird.
don't know what happened. And then I see later on that the Longhorns are joining that same initiative, but they weren't in the video, which means from Tarleton State to Baylor to Texas Tech to UTEP, everybody's in on this. They all collaborated on a video, and they either decided, let's not tell the fucking Longhorns about this, or the Longhorns are like, we don't want to post any of you on our page. So I don't know what happened, but it's interesting to me.
I'd guess it's the latter. I think they said, well, if we do it, it can only be our team, and we need an exclusive network that we could launch this on. Everyone was like, all right, fuck off, man.
Yeah, One Texas and the Longhorns.
One Texas, right? That's us. None of you are involved. All right. Well, wait. Are any more shoutouts?
Two more. Central Michigan Chippewas won a road game for the first time in 2 years. It was September 23rd, 2023, over Southern Alabama. They forced 5 turnovers all last season, and they got 3 in one game. Cyclone running backs coach Sheldon Croney, who I high-fived after Brock Purdy's first start in 2018, is coaching up the running backs, and they carried the team to a win after San Jose State, their kicker missed 2 field goals in the last minute and 16 seconds. Real rough. But hey, 16-14, beautiful. And the first happy flight home for the Chips. Good for them. And speaking of MAC teams getting off the mat, I saved the best for last. Motherfucking Kent State won a game, baby!
Is that the entire news?
Over 700 days. 700 days without a Golden Flash win. But
Holy
we
shit.
did it. We did it. Dorelis Clark on the kick return. I can't believe it.
Wait, who did they beat?
were the Merrimack.
Fuck it.
But they lost to Merrimack last year.
Okay, sure.
So up off the mat with the Fearless Flash logo. It's a dream come true. We're back in the win column. It's been so long. Thank you to everyone who played as them in College Football 25 that contributed to their NIL bonus that they'll receive from the video game. Congrats to all the investors.
Wow, 2 years, man. 2 years without a win is fucking crazy.
Ooh. Oh, their coach was listen, I'm not gonna say anything libelous about their head coach, but there was a while where they didn't know who the head coach was, as in, like, I think they were unsure about his identity or something. Like, it was strange for a minute. I'm sorry. Let me look this up. This is worth getting right. I got it. Kent State's head coach was wrapped up in a credit card scandal.
That's unfortunate.
Using his personal card in ways that he shouldn't have. and then using like the company card in ways that he shouldn't have, which feels really hard to do both. But he was let go in April this year. And you know what? Sometimes losing a little more means you gain. Wait, no. Not every loss is a loss, I'll say.
Addition by subtraction. Okay, so we should probably pick next week's games. We have a smaller slate than usual, I think, just because they tend to pick big matchups for week one, and then they just immediately try and pick like the worst matchups possible because they didn't get their cupcakes. So we have a smaller slate for this week. A couple games that also went under the radar. So the first one was Oklahoma, Michigan. Oklahoma was hosting Michigan, which I had zero clue this game was happening. Did we have any thoughts on that? Because I was not super impressed with Michigan this week. So, and I have no reason to believe in Oklahoma. So, John, did you wanna pick this?
Yeah, I'll take Michigan. I think that I think the kid is something. I think he's raw and he's a true freshman, but I think Bryce Underwood, sue me for getting excited over Michigan quarterback, but I that's the only bit of analysis I can offer for it. I mean, John Mateer is really good too, right? And he's more proven, but I'm going to take Michigan.
Interesting, Josh.
I'm afraid to call anything because I was just so wrong last week. I'll go with Oklahoma to be interesting. And they're hosting. So, this is their first road game, and it's not like they looked really put together against, who was it? Nevada? Fresno? It all blurs together.
Yeah, I'll also go with Oklahoma just because they're home. Like, I literally think the home team would win this game. That is the difference. And also, I think Sharon Moore is just determined to not score touchdowns in big games. So I just have no faith in Michigan's offense. I have faith in their defense to be god tier, but their offense, man, it's so.
I mean, importantly though, this game being week 2 is why Michigan is doing the mid-season suspension nonsense. I believe Sharon Moore's a Oklahoma alum, so they wanted him to be able to go and do his homecoming, blah, whatever, and then have him be suspended for weeks 3 and 4. So he will be there and do his job of not scoring touchdowns.
It's good to know that when you cheat and get caught and suspended, you get to choose when your suspension is and the terms of it exactly. That's a great system. Okay, this is probably the game that will be the most difficult to pick, which is Iowa State versus Iowa. Josh, you should go first.
We're kicking their ass. I don't know what else to tell you. It's 1998 all over again. The tide of who's the best team in the state will be decided. And it's not just, like Iowa looked terrible. They had 40 passing yards from their brand new quarterback last week. It is
Are you serious?
yeah, that's the talk of the town around here. But he came in, got hurt, missed some wide open guys, skipped a couple passes. They got things going on the ground, but then their starting running back got hurt. So Cyclones pull away with this one. I'm not getting in my head. Nobody on the team should get in their head. They're the better team. They're hosting. It's way overdue. And for everyone saying, you've been competent before. When? 2021? The team that had never done it? Like, we're good. I you know where I stand.
Okay.
So for those of us who are normal, what is the 1998 connection for Iowa State?
Oh, sorry. So after years of all right. Quick version. Iowa became the better team historically because they had actual bowl success. And they were on TV when TV started popping off. And when they discontinued the rivalry after Iowa State started beating them a couple times, They brought it back when Iowa State was terrible. Ran up like 15 so years, going like 2-13 or something like that. It was crazy streaks. And then Iowa State with Dan McCarney, who we still celebrate now, comes in and whoops their ass in Kinnick Stadium in 1998. Rattles off like 4 or 5 in a row, and maybe nothing else, but they would beat Iowa consistently. Now it's like, oh, that's your Super Bowl. It's not anymore. It's just another game on the schedule, legitimately. So get it.
John, did you want to pick it?
Yeah, you've got me fired up. Let's go Clones, dude.
Yeah, you gotta say Iowa State because they played Kansas State, so like I know that they're good. Also, holy shit, 40 fucking Kansas State's not that good, but they played a real football team, like, and they didn't throw for only 40 yards in a football game in 2025. Like, holy shit. On the basis of just like playing offense in the 21st century, I have to choose Iowa State, right? Also, I think what is game day, right?
Big noon kickoff, gonna be in Ames.
Yeah, that's so yeah, it should be a blowout, but it never is.
No, I think in this series, a blowout is leading by 10-13.
Well, yeah, if you lead by 10 points, Iowa has to get 5 safeties to score and get back in the game. So.
Don't challenge them.
Yeah. All right. Next game, Oregon versus Oklahoma State, which also a very interesting matchup. I mean, I feel like Oregon's going to blow them out, but I just wrote it down because I was like, wow, I can't believe these two teams are even playing each other. So, John, anything different there?
Yeah, we don't have to get too complicated. I'm going Oregon.
Josh?
I think everyone's just more afraid of Gundy's mojo. Like, they could just randomly be good, and Oregon could randomly be sloppy. But I think it'll be enough because it's at home. I think they'll be fine. So Oregon, but not as comfortable as you might think they'd be.
Okay, well, you give a lot more credit to the current state of Oklahoma State than we do.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I think this might be like a 50-point just stomping. Like, Oklahoma State's down bad right now. But then again, you know what? They are kind of notorious for coming back in this exact situation and winning like 9 games. So, you know, they've done it before.
Wait, actually, sorry. Their quarterback just got hurt. Never mind.
Didn't even know that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, it will have absolutely zero impact on my pick. Whether he was playing or not, I was picking Oregon. Okay, this game I do think is pretty interesting. Kansas at Missouri. You know, Kansas has an identity. You know, that matters to me quite a bit when I pick teams. So, Josh, you know a lot about Kansas football, so you should go first here.
I think they can get it done. I feel like even if it's home or a road, like nobody really has the advantage like hosting here. I think this is a rivalry that's long overdue to be renewed. Bo Prabula did look really good in his first game, but Kansas has been doing it just a week longer. And even if this is their first real like test, I don't know. I believe in the vision. And that's not just Big 12 wish casting. I legitimately do.
John?
I'm going to take Mizzou. It's important for the SEC to start bumping up our strength of schedule metrics here in a part of the season where we've already lost. One of our more bottom feeder programs lost to an ACC team last week. So gotta.
That's right.
Here's the thing. Missouri is more talented, but Kansas has more juice. I'll say Missouri, but I think it's going to be a good game. Like, I think Kansas can really give Missouri a run for their money. It would not surprise me at all if Kansas won this game. I think they're a lot closer than things appear, but I think Kansas is like a year away from being able to beat teams like Missouri consistently. And then
Which that sucks because this is the last year for Mr. Daniels, right?
yes, he's a senior.
Mercifully, yes.
So
Yeah, but
you're
the rest of their
away
team-
and you're not going to have the quarterback.
Yeah, but the rest I'm thinking more like their defense and depth, just stuff like that, where I'm like, Missouri actually recruits relatively well. So, I just give them the edge in that situation. Okay, so I originally didn't have this on my list, but because of how fucking bad they were, we have to pick Bama versus Louisiana Monroe for multiple reasons. First, they lost to Florida State. Second, Nick Saban famously lost to UL Monroe. And would it not be thematic, artistic, epic if they lost to Louisiana Monroe this week and then they fired their head coach after Saban retired? Would that not be epic? Now, is it going to happen? Probably not. But John, please pick Louisiana Monroe.
I mean, I was open about it last week. I picked Florida State for the meme, not because I thought they would actually do it. I'll pick Louisiana Monroe. Husky Harson does his finest work so far and loses to the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks.
Husky Harson is an amazing name. Josh, you're so much more objective about this. You didn't grow up in the South, so Alabama losing is not like so amazing to you. But who do you think's gonna win this game?
You know what? I think the fact that I took the time and really thought about it is so respectful to the Warhawks. So I'm fine picking against them now. I did my due diligence and thought about it. I scratched my chin a little, so good job.
Fair enough. Okay, here's my thing. I think Alabama will win, but I think it's gonna be a lot like that South Florida game last year, where they're gonna win, but they're not gonna feel good about it, and they're not gonna feel better about their quarterback situation at all.